Okay, I've been having a lot of problems with getting law enforcement all across the board from multiple different departments. I feel I'm targeted. May I start with getting your badge numbers and your names
Correct, 11519.
and your name?
Portugal 11570.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure what to do when the police abuses power in multiple different departments and out of corruption and taking bribes, violate a person, and repetitively get away with family violence and all kinds of other chaos consistently.
Okay.
I've reported repetitively the issues going on with my phone. Hacking a phone network is a crime because you guys are consistently able to abuse your power and put other people at risk, including children, and get away with it over and over again. I cannot get regular phone services, and hacking the phone network is a crime. I'm not sure why it changed because the government's behind it.
Okay.
I've reported it years to get violated, arrested, and multiple different things. I don't believe I deserve for corrupt police to arrest me at a domestic violence support group. Since they did that and got away with it, they've completely blacklisted from me getting for services altogether. Each time I have bullies come out that consistently give me incident reports, come cover for crimes, I'm tired of it. I don't want to spend the rest of my life having bullies violate me, stalk me, and get away with it and keep my family apart for profit. Do you have family? Okay. What if someone put a target on your back and bribed someone to consistently keep enforcing that you have no relationship with your family? Bully them, violate them, mistreat them to where they're afraid, commit all kind of heinous crimes, and repetitively keep getting away with it because the government's behind it. How would you feel?
Absolutely. I mean, we understand your frustration. I mean, how can we help you today?
Well, I think that I've said a mouthful. To people to come in and let me vent and then keep on for covering up for crimes. I don't have access to my daughter. I don't want to be deprived of law enforcement year after year. That would be a start. How do I get it?
How do you get
Law enforcement? Yes.
As in, like, for us to come out?
Law enforcement, no, for investigation for people to abide by the law and not abuse their power. How do I get law enforcement? When police refuse to abide by the law, what do I do? And repetitively keep getting away with it year after year, covering up for crimes, bullying me, violating me for cover up, be allowed to hack my phone and enforce my providers to cover for it. I have thefts from Attorney General, Social Security Administration, all kinds of thefts, identity theft, all kinds of things that I can't report. Being phone network hacked, I just went over that. All kinds of other chaos that you guys refuse to investigate.
Cool. I mean, as far as that, I can't speak on matters that we don't know. About.
You do know I'm reporting it to you. Tampering with evidence is a felony. What is the point of me repetitively reporting crimes for you guys to consistently keep covering for it? How do I get law enforcement? Why do I repetitively over and over again get criminals that come out here, violate me, and cover for crimes? Give me incident reports, openly tamper with evidence, get away with it year after year. I just want to know how to have rights and have value and be a part of this Constitution. How do I do that?
You do have rights.
I don't. I have rights. What are you giving me an incident report number or a case number?
It depends what needs to be done. You haven't told us.
I have a stalker that you guys have been covering up for violating me for years.
Okay. So
he has bribed multiple different parties.
You called today. What did you need us to do?
Are you covering up for the stalker? Why do people consistently not let me speak about him?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm reporting a stalker and you're interrupting it.
You're reporting a stalker?
Yes.
Okay, what's going on with him?
His name is Jason Gardner, Vivid Images. Ever since I ended an online relationship with him, I've been getting violated in a multitude of different ways and railroaded and denied law enforcement for multiple different departments.
Gardner's in there?
Yes.
Do you know his date of birth?
I believe it's 5/19/80.
5/19/80.
You can look at him up online. His name is Jason Gardner, Vivid Images, Baton Rouge. I've been reporting him years and haven't really had anything accomplished. Is this going to be an incident report number or is it going to be an actual investigation?
Well, right now I'm still gathering the elements of it.
Well, see, what's been happening for years, they've never been together enough able to gather it because they've been committing crimes, having video footage and eyewitness testimonies. They still weren't able to gather enough information to get a case number.
What was his birthday?
5/19/80. And your body cam is on?
It is, man. What is your last name?
Clark, Clark.
What is your first name?
Keyana, Keyana.
Ken?
Keyana.
Excuse me, Keyana.
Ana.
What is your date of birth? But just near Waco, right? Are we in a Dollar General in that area?
In Itasca, yes. And I don't understand why when I'm reporting my abuser, do I get assaulted, violated, and police have to call out supervisors. That's not normal for you to have to call out a supervisor because I'm reporting my soccer. Are you calling someone out that's going to come tamper with evidence?
No, it's not. That's not what I'm doing now. Around what time did you see him?
Well, I didn't ask for a supervisor? Why can't you just do a report? Is a supervisor going to come bully and rough me up for my abuser? Like that's what they normally do. Come violate a
It's one of
rude.
those things where it's because if you're saying something happened outside of city limits.
I haven't been able to finish. I'm giving you all of the elements of the stalking.
So you saw him in 2017
Right.
in Itasca
Right.
at a Family Dollar.
Right.
Dollar
And
General, excuse me.
Yes.
You don't know where exactly, but just somewhere in that area.
Would you like me to get the exact street? It's only one Dollar General in Itasca.
Oh, okay. No, I mean I guess there was only one. It shouldn't be too hard to
Okay.
find, but I mean it would help if you can grab it.
Okay. Well, I would like to get to the other things, and then we'll get to that.
So you saw
Okay.
it the day throughout the night.
It was day.
Day, you know what time?
No,
It was like early in the morning. Was it like noon?
it was after I picked my kids up from school.
What time do you usually pick your kids up from school?
Probably like around 4:30 or 5.
So around that time,
Right.
4 to 6 maybe. Okay. On 4 to 6, you see him. Okay, that was in 2017. All right, next thing. Wow.
Okay, so I showed the Itasca police where there was information in my feed and communication behind a party that claimed to be Jason Gardner under a fake page, where he stated he was going to marry me and all this other chaos, and I showed him porn and things off in my feed under fake pages and all this other kind of things that was in my feed. I showed him where I spoke with this individual and I asked the individual why they were watching me and how. That individual then told me he had to leave because his body cam was going out and did not want to take a report of what he witnessed.
Cool. All right, and then what happened then?
So then he had to leave because...
You notified Itasca PD, right?
Yes. Okay, this is all the elements of the situation.
Okay, and then what?
Okay, so then after that happened, I left because there was voyeurism crime. Somebody was telling me what I was doing.
You left what?
I'm sorry?
You left what?
The house. There was voyeurism crime, so I left the house and went to a domestic violence shelter.
Okay.
Because I showed the police how there was crimes of voyeurism and how this party appeared to be watching me.
You showed Itasca PD?
Yes.
Okay.
They ignored it. I had a break-in. I had my window busted out. Something mysteriously happened to my car. People would walk in, and I've watched gang stalking videos, and I had a lot of experience in the gang stalking videos. A lot of the experiences. So anyway, whatever reason, the police would not refuse to investigate all of it.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, sure. So we'll see what the supervisor has to say. That when the supervisor gets
he's
it.
not coming. We just notified him what was going on.
Oh, okay.
Because remember I told you if something kind of happens outside our city limits. It's kind of difficult, but we're still hearing you, so we still want to see what you have to say.
So anyway, after all that went on, I've had gang stalking, and I repetitively have reported that to police. They have 70-something reports, and I fell through the cracks for Dallas alone 70-something times, ranging from getting trapped on trains, getting threatened while trapped on trains, so the bus driver had to have been involved to trap me on the train. Okay. Then I was getting threatened. Okay. Police would not investigate that. It happened multiple different times. It was
trains?
Yes, dark trains and bus. I mean, if you get away with it, you can get away with it on camera footage. So then I had multiple assaults, multiple a day. I had 2 assaults by 3 different people in one day. Gotcha. Okay, all was on dark property, so it was all videotaped, well, on video. Okay. So 2 different police covered for the incidences, okay. And DART staff also covered for me being assaulted. Multiple parties, a second assault in the same day, told this police officer this woman was assaulted. The police said, no, she wasn't. And multiple parties tried to inform the police I was assaulted, but the police would not take a report.
Police?
Yes, it was a DART police.
I'm sorry to hear that. Sure.
So I have all this chaos. I had a gun pulled on me. With the night that the gun was pulled on me, they refused to do a report. 6 months later, when a person from Parkland saw my videos, she reported it. That wasn't corrupt. So they were put in a bind to actually do an investigation and act like they cared because it was a witness.
Okay. And all this was kind of what time period would you say?
That happened December of 2021 when they were put in a bind and had to do a police report from someone pulling a gun on me and pulling the trigger.
DART PD did that?
No, this was a guy named Wolf that used to stalk me. He was a gang stalker in the tent community.
You said they were forced to do a report. Who did the report?
I don't know who did the report. I just want.
Did it?
It was Dallas.
Oh, it was Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. So anyway, since they were forced to do the report 6 months later, it may have actually been Yeah, it was 6 months later, maybe a little bit longer. They were forced to do the report, and I haven't had a valid investigation for it. They won't. I can't get records, period. So I think all this chaos is going on because I have the stalker. I've had identity theft. I've had food stamps stolen. My bank deprived me of funds. If a stalker is able to do all of this, I have interference with child custody crimes that have been going on years. I have no access to my daughter out of corruption. Multiple CPS workers cover for it. So if I'm reporting the stalker and I repetitively get violated and denied investigation, what am I supposed to do if I don't have rights as a citizen to law enforcement?
Absolutely, you do have rights as a citizen. And if you want to document an official police report within a case number, not an incident number, we'll do that for you.
Okay, so I can finally get law enforcement and investigation?
We will document it of everything you've told us.
That's committing a crime, because if you have elements of a crime and documenting it is committing tampering with evidence so I don't get it investigated, that's criminal. And they've been doing this for years.
Detectives do the investigating. All we do is document the incident under a report. So everything that we do, we write in a report, and then elements of an offense. If there's any elements of an offense, it gets directed to the.
For all of this crazy stuff, do you know why police would deprive me of investigation for all this stuff that was caught on camera footage?
I don't know.
Will I be deprived of investigation for reporting it to you?
No, we're doing the police.
Okay, I want my phone to be investigated because a vital part of this abuse is to make sure that I call counterfeits. That's why they went to my phone providers. I want my phone to be investigated. I have a right to be able to call the authentic parties with my phone.
Okay.
Hacking a phone, I've never spoke with anyone in cyber crimes because the law enforcement and government is enforcing these crimes.
Okay. Let me just confirm information. Last name is Clark, C-L-A-R-K. Get you the report number.
Let's go ahead and take all of this. I don't want the report number because there's a lot of tampering with evidence. We can get the report number after I show you all the all of the information, because people want to cut off certain things and tamper with evidence. So here's the custody agreement. And my abuser takes a stock. He does not play games with committed crimes to keep me away from my kids. He knows they're vital. So he entices all the bullies that he has set up to enforce that I have nothing at all to do with my family and my kids. That's how sick he is. But it's kind of problematic when he's able to abuse power through you guys. That's where it becomes problematic. Okay, here's the custody agreement right here that was derived out of criminal activity. You can see on my YouTube channel that they said they don't know why my rights were terminated, but I have a statement right here.
Oh, your rights were terminated?
Out of corruption, yes.
Okay.
They said that they don't know why the dad and the stepmom.
This is a few years old, correct? This was signed in 2019?
Right. So the problem of it is they went up to the court and did a restraining order. So what happened initially is James Hastings out of Hillsborough, Texas, made false statements, didn't give me an attorney, and was taking my child custody rights away. They had time to sit down and think about all the criminal activity that I had reported. So I wrote to multiple different agencies and reported him. So they had time to sit on it and think about how criminal his behavior was, that it showed a conspiracy. So then when it showed the conspiracy. He's in a right. He's said that I had neglect. He's reiterating on that. Well, iterating on that. They're not looking at taking the elements of the abuse. They're tampering with evidence, committing a felony.
I have to read what it's
okay.
It's one of those things.
Okay, so what I was saying, James Hastings out of Hillsborough, Texas, had time to think about what he was doing and then pulled out and disappeared out of the experience altogether. But since the multiple parties were conspiring together to violate my rights as a parent, because that's what my abuser enjoys. So he's saying the family neglect and family violence again, to tamper with evidence. That's his second time saying that. They are subtle cues to let me know that they're bullies and they're covering for my abuser. No, so, okay, so anyway, James Hastings. So James Hastings out of Hillsborough, Texas.
Yeah, so you did say that someone pulled a gun, but you said they had
well, I'm talking about the interference with child custody crimes, that my abuser don't take any stock in anybody abiding by the law.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and talk about the interference with child custody crimes, because he shouldn't be controlling my access to my children.
Yeah, so
let me finish. So James Hastings made false statements out of Hillsborough, Texas, and then he did that to sabotage my rights as a parent. Yeah. When he incriminated himself, he pulled out. And when he pulled out, they have forgotten that you cannot terminate child custody rights, and there's no CPS investigation. When Judge Kim Cooks and Beachman thought about that, they pulled out of the experience, then blamed it on Mary Murphy. So Mary Murphy has taken my child custody rights away with no CPS investigation and no investigation done.
Okay.
Ever since that has happened, since my abuser's controlling a lot of people he shouldn't, all parties cover for it and enforce it. And they've been getting away with it years. They refuse investigation because it shows criminal activity. I was not given an attorney, multitude of different things.
Yep.
You see in that paperwork where they went up there. So then they set up for the stepmom and dad to go up there and commit crimes.
What are those paperwork?
That's what I showed you. The other paperwork is how I had 2 different court dates and they wouldn't let me appear at my court date covering for the mom and stepdad not being there. If they don't show up at court, they're supposed to dismiss the charges or dismiss the custody hearing or the case. They wouldn't because they were covering for them. So these are the circumstances where they dismiss. They would not let me appear at court out of criminal activity.
You thought someone was hacking your phone? What makes you believe that?
Because I repetitively call people all over the United States that cover for crimes. My credit card company cover for thefts. 911 operators hung up in my face in emergencies. I reported it to Clark as well as multiple other people on this YouTube channel. I called the Department of Justice 6 times in a row. That kept hanging up. FBI is abusive and cover for crimes. Will not do me an investigation and lie and slander and don't want me to have any education. I've called all over the United States trying to get services. They all deprive me of services. Yeah. I tried to get an attorney for years. I've been on my phone hours trying to get an attorney. They all lie, will not call me back, and deprive me of legal representation.
All right, well, we can document all that.
Well, the thing of it is documented. Depriving a citizen of law enforcement is criminal. I don't want to keep making documents. I have 70-something reports that investigation has been denied. What is the point of you documenting it, coming by, tampering with evidence, and depriving me of law enforcement? These are serious events. Why do every party that comes in here consistently tampers with evidence and routinely get away with it? So, multiple different police departments.
I know you said that usually when we come out here, all you do is get incident report numbers and not actual case numbers. So it kind of makes you feel kind of frustrated. Because I'll be frustrated too. Like if you call so much and like you say nothing's being done, I understand your frustration. Like I'm like, hey, I'm calling so much. I'm trying to get things done.
No, we're misunderstanding. The elements that I've told you. Yes. These are crimes, okay? Yes. Okay, so trapped on a train, these are extreme events. This is not little petty, someone ran me off the road and, something little like that on camera footage. These are extreme events. Stalking, dangerous, someone pulling a gun on me. Yeah. My son got hit with a car. These are dangerous, serious family violence events.
So, the stalking you mentioned was 2017, and
the stalking is currently now.
Okay, so I'm talking about just kind of.
Yeah, so let me make sure that the stalking, I witnessed him stalking me. No, because people tamper with evidence. I want to make sure that you have a correct understanding. Okay. 2017 is when it started. Cool. When he got incriminated himself, when I actually saw him doing it, he's able to abuse police and have them do it in other parties. Texas, right, and he's doing it now. Abusing power where he has police do it. They have came to intervene me at multiple different locations. Okay. It's constables. I have been at hotel rooms. Police have knocked on the door and forced me to leave, so I know that they were stalking me. They premeditated my steps at AT&T.
Who was stalking you? The police?
They showed up at AT&T to interrupt me reporting the crimes with my cell phone. They showed up at hotel rooms to interrupt that. Gotcha. They showed up and interrupted me on bus asking me if I want to hurt myself. They showed up at hotel rooms. When they incriminated themselves, they showed up at the domestic violence support group, assaulted me and arrested me. Then when they incriminated themselves, they started having these organizations deprive me of services. That's why
organizations of like
family violence I can't get a protection order. I was pushed and shoved. They showed up twice there. Yeah. It was on camera footage at the George Allen. They interrupted me getting a protection order, and I was interrupted at Frank Rowley. I went back to George Allen. They said Frank Rowley said, "Don't talk to me. Don't even engage in conversation." I cannot get any domestic violence support from any organization on the planet that I've called.
Okay. So let me ask this, Ms. Clark. How can we help you today? What will make you feel like we came here today and you feel
I can't find people that abide by the law. Okay. Having integrity, finding someone that has integrity.
No, absolutely, and that's something I believe both me and
my Okay, well, what are you going to do? I reported a multitude of crimes today.
Yeah, so on things like that, so things that happen out of our jurisdiction.
It's not in your jurisdiction. You're tampering with evidence. I get stalked now.
Like a Tasco, we can't.
Right, but I'm telling you about what's happening now. You're finding an opportunity to tamper with evidence, which is a felony.
On dark, like property inside buses and trains.
I'm
like,
telling
would be
you
on
that I'm getting
LAPD.
stalked now, and there you saw the interference with child custody abuse and all that corruption.
So yeah, so on that it just says it has to be. It's an old child custody agreement, but it says it has to be monitored. You have to you have to have supervised visits due to certain things that I'm not gonna repeat. But
Okay, but here's the problem, sir.
So, what we can-
Tampering with evidence is a felony. I told you that they went up there and did a restraining order. I told you about my YouTube channel, Kiana Clark Peace on YouTube. They went up there and did a restraining order. I can play the recording while they don't know why they did it. You have no right to take bribes and enforce that I don't see my family is sick. And interference with child custody is a felony, and you're guilty of it. Lying and playing games to deprive me of access to my child.
We can document this. And
I want an investigation. Documenting it and not doing an investigation is a felony.
So, like I said, we're the ones. So basically, how police officers, when we do a report, we make the report depending on the type of the report that we make.
Why, if you heard all this chaos, why are you already committing crimes trying to set up an alibi on why I won't get investigated? I said pulling a gun on me and all this other chaos.
Yeah, you said that.
Will it be investigated?
You said that.
Will it be investigated?
No, you said it was investigated because it was forced by Parkland nurses. Remember?
That you showed him the video.
You showed them the video, and you said that.
So these criminals just come try to find catch-22s to keep covering for these
We're
crimes.
just repeating what you said, ma'am. You said that.
If it's investigated, why am I here? Why are you here? Why would I call you to do a police report?
You called this, man. So
Yeah,
we'll grab that police report number.
I want an investigation. You're committing a felony again. You guys routinely come show up, commit crimes. Why am I being deprived of law enforcement? Why am I being deprived of law enforcement for all these crimes?
You got questions? No, you're not being deprived, man. We're gonna do everything in our power that we can to make sure that you feel we actually did something. Cause I get it. If you feel like you're being deprived of certain things.
What do you mean make sure that you actually did something? I have a right to law enforcement and investigation.
Yeah, but I'm saying sometimes you feel like we officers come out here and you're like.
What are you going to do? Are you going to do a case for an investigation, or are you going to continually tamper with evidence?
No, we're doing the report.
Okay, is it an investigation?
Yeah, it is going to be a report. An investigation, you have multiple things. It's just on things that like happen out of our jurisdiction.
Okay, so you're committing a crime right now. No. Giving me an incident number so it won't be investigated is a felony.
No, it's not going to be an incident number. It's going to be a report.
So is it going to be investigated?
It can be.
What do you mean it can be? Why wouldn't it be investigated in all the chaos I just told you, courts and all these massive amount of stalking? I was assaulted in jail, and they won't investigate who assaulted me.
Yeah, as far as that, I mean, that's going to be on Dallas Sheriff because it's happening.
Well, if my abuser set it up, why are you covering for him and not investigating the crimes that he's committing?
Because that will be on Dallas.
No, if I'm reporting a stalking, you're lying. You're committing a crime right now. I'm tired of all these people committing crimes. If my stalker set this up, you have a responsibility in investigating him.
That's the Garner?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll put that Jason Garner 5. You have his phone number?
Let me get it. Can you close the door?
Yeah.
I don't know why people like to do that.
Well, it's not just police practice. I can hear my partner being.
It was something that I was forced to do.
Or chose to do?
No, I had to do it to protect my life.
Okay.
Because my experiences aren't believable.
Okay.
So in order to, save my life, I had to develop the YouTube channel. It's not something that I'm exactly comfortable with doing myself.
Got you.
But I have no other choice because no one would ever believe it if they didn't see it.
I guess you have proof of it, huh?
Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
Because nobody would believe a multitude of police officers, hundreds of them are committing crimes repetitively. Nobody will believe at police headquarters they gave you fraud. Yeah. And then now they're depriving me of records out of criminal activity. They won't believe all these police are con artists.
That's cool.
And that I came into contact with, they give me incident reports knowing full-blown, when I'm reporting, we'll never get investigated. Did you cut your body cam off?
No, I'm still thinking right here.
Oh, okay.
You can hear like a long...
Call it in because there's a lot of tampering with evidence. So you had him go outside. You have a body cam on.
Yeah, mine's been rolling. I never cut it off.
I don't see...
You want to go get you the case number?
Yeah, right, but he did it outside. There's a lot of tampering with evidence and schemes. So he left to go get a case number. I'm in here talking to you, and I want what I'm telling you on your body cam. So he went out and left half my report to tamper with evidence. So I wanted you, I distinctly told you that I wanted you to call it in so we have what I'm telling you on file. But he left.
So you want to hear the case number?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to report it, call it in, because there's a lot of...
That's here. I'm going to call it
No,
here.
there's a lot of... Sir, there's a lot of tampering with evidence. I told you up front that I wanted you to do the report. Because his body, I did not see his body cam, I saw yours. And then you still had him call it in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
He didn't
tampered with
call the
evidence.
report. He just want to go right and get the number down.
How did he get a number and I'm in here? You're supposed to be calling, get one.
Because he's generating it on the computer. Because the radio was busy.
Well, call now and get one because there's tampering with evidence. No, yeah, you can. Tampering with evidence is a felony. Call now. Call now.
I'll have her repeat it just so you can know.
No, just call now and do it.
I can't make a second one, man.
You didn't. I don't know if you made the first one. Multiple police have been tampered with evidence committing felonies. I did not see you get the case number. Going out there getting a pre-written case number is an obvious felony.
I got you. Charlie 425.
Charlie 425.
That was case number 1 call sheet. Can you read it out to me?
Yes, sir. It's going to be 150772. 150772.
There you go.
He went ahead and wrote it. 150772. Can I see what you have? Let's see what you have on that paper.
It's the same one.
157772.
Okay, I'm sorry. This just meant I can't find police that abide by the law.
If we can do something to make you feel better, I mean, absolutely.
Well, what would make me feel better, I've reported a lot of incredible events.
Yeah.
And there are 70-something reports that haven't been investigated. Can you tell me why?
I can't speak on that.
Okay, well, can you tell me why you don't believe that this one will be investigated?
I never said that.
So it will be investigated. I do have rights.
You do have rights, absolutely.
So it will be investigated. Is that what you're
If
saying?
it needs to be, yes, ma'am.
What do you mean if it needs to be?
So we type the reports, right? We type the reports and then it goes off
Sir.
to certain detectives.
Interference with child custody is a felony.
Absolutely.
Child abuse is a crime.
Okay. Before we head out, do you have any questions?
I don't appreciate people disregarding my daughter and acting as if she don't have value. It's sick.
I never said that.
Okay, well, I need to to discuss the child abuse. I don't appreciate people not taking stock in my 12-year-old's value.
And we looked at the child custody agreements from about 3
Right,
years
but here's the
ago.
thing.
It says you're.
I don't take just because my abuser is sadistic. Do not treat my daughter like she doesn't have value. I repetitively have told you that the dad went up there and multiple parties have committed a crime to to keep me away from my child. I repetitively have told you that, as well as multiple other parties. You repetitively keep covering for it, trying to make it seem like I'm problematic when you have evidence that the judge and multiple other parties have committed crimes. I also gave that to Gooding at South Central Patrol. So that is criminal. Why would you cover for that? That's a felony.
Can you just hear me out, man?
I want some
Ms. Clark,
resolutions.
Ms. Clark, I give you the respect to hear you out. Do you mind just hearing me out?
No, because what you're saying wasn't accurate. I do know that there's neglect in that.
Do you care what I have to say or no?
I want to make sure that we're on the same page because I've been going through this years.
We're on the same page.
You stated that there was neglect and all of this chaos that was going.
Just reading what the
Right, but you did not state anything regarding the fact that multiple parties had committed crimes, interference with child custody crimes to keep me away from your daughter. You did not state that. You have documentation.
Well, there it says you have to have supervised visits.
Right. So why would you enforce that? Why would the government be sadistic enough to enforce that with ample evidence and commit felonies?
That's on the state that does that, ma'am. That's not on our level.
The state.
Yes.
If people are making false statements, that is on your level.
No, on that child custody.
He made false statements to a family court.
Yeah.
That's a crime.
And now you would have to take it up.
You are not taking in the evidence. You're committing a crime covering for it.
I'm not covering.
You are committing a crime. Making false statements to a family court is a crime.
We're gonna keep going back and forth.
Don't try to redirect the call for you to gaslight me because you're committing crimes. I want my daughter protected. You have no right to take bribes and consistently, repetitively enforce that I have nothing to do with my kids.
I got you, ma'am. If we truly didn't care, ma'am, honestly, we could have just walked out. But we
would have been committing a crime. You could have just walked out, and that's criminal. You could have. That's a crime.
We understand your frustration.
Right. So to keep your job and not commit crimes, you have to sit here and take evidence. That was open and shut felonies. You can't decide as a police department you want to target someone and violate them and say we can just walk out. You absolutely could, but you would have been committing a crime. And they have repetitively done it. So it's up to you. You could have walked out, but that would have been criminal. Why would you have wanted to do that?
All right. So do you have any questions before we head out?
So we have right here.
Do you have any questions?
I'm just getting clarity. I don't want to be violated.
Okay.
You have no right to take bribes and then bully me and violate me from my abuser.
Do you have any questions before we head out or no?
I'm telling you, I'm trying to get clarity.
And we've told you what we're gonna do.
You don't need to rush me off, and I'm reporting crimes to you. a lot of massive events that have been ignored.
I told you it's going to be documented.
Documenting is not going to do anything when all this chaos is going on. Deny me investigation. Multiple different police departments.
Things that happen in cities.
I'm talking about what happened in Dallas. Why are you overemphasizing things that don't matter? I'm talking about the crimes and chaos that happened in Dallas. There's this custody agreement that has Dallas on it. Multiple parties have committed a lot of federal crimes to try to sabotage my rights as a parent, including you. You have no right, and multiple different departments have no right to cut off my daughter's value as well as mine. Don't interrupt me trying to prevent me from reporting my daughter's abuse. It's sick. Well, let me go into what happened with my daughter. Stop interrupting it. It's sick for police repetitively to interrupt me reporting the abuse, my daughter's abuse. Let me go get the license plate number.
Cool. Do you have our badge number?
They've been doing it years.
Excuse me.
So it's just draining when you have police repetitively abuse their power, cover for crimes year after year. I have to go to the news. These felonies are racking up year after year, felony after felony. Then sick enough to interrupt my daughter like she don't have value and she 12. Witness these corrupt police abusing power, arresting her mother for profit. Openly over and over and over again.
Do you have your police report number we gave you?
Sir, I don't know, but you have integrity issues. You should not interrupt me reporting child abuse. It happens routinely over and over. You need your charges.